What's up, my name is Daniela and welcome to a new video. So today I'm doing the stay-at-home book tag. This tag was created by Madison Mary from Princess of Paperback, and I was tagged by Sasha from The Wild Sasha and also by Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots. So this tag has been around for a while. Obviously it was a reaction to the beginning of quarantine, lockdown, whatever. And although a lot of things are opening in my country, I still don't think it's a good idea to go among the crowds if I don't have to. So yeah, I'm still staying at home, and in the upcoming weeks and months I want to go more into nature where it's safe and there is not a lot of people. So yeah, I have the privilege and I'm going to use it. But without further ado, let's look at the prompts. So the first one is laying in bed, book you could or have read in a day. I actually want to make a video about short books you can fly through, but if we're going with the cozy theme, I'm gonna say House Supper by Alice Oseman. So this is originally a webcomic. I believe you can read it for free. And it's about two boys in high school who fall in love. One of the main characters in this one, called Charlie, is the brother of Tori, who is the main character of Solitaire, which is, I believe, Alice Oseman's first book, so it kind of takes place in the same universe. This book is very cute, very heartwarming. Both characters are precious little beans and their relationship is very adorable. It's stated that Charlie is gay and Nick is bisexual, but Nick is confused about his feelings and his sexuality, so he's questioning for the majority of the first book, which I liked to see. The book is not all fluffy though, so check out the content warnings if you need to. But yeah, I absolutely can't wait to read the next volumes. Next prompt is snacking, a guilty pleasure book. I'm not the biggest fan of the phrase guilty pleasure because I don't think I'm ashamed of any media I consume, but I can definitely acknowledge that some things I love are problematic or don't have the best writing, etc. So in this regard, I'm a basic bitch and I loved the Akutar series, although it has flaws and I don't know how I would feel if I reread it. But I think that I also associate this with books that are over the top in some regard. So, for example, Sophie Kinsella books, they are often incredibly absurd and the main character gets into a lot of trouble because they keep lying and not dealing with their problems, and everyone's behavior is super exaggerated and it leads to a lot of comical situations. The plot of those books is very unrealistic and it can be quite frustrating sometimes, but yeah, I tend to enjoy it. So for example, we have The Wedding Night, which is about a woman who meets her ex-boyfriend and he convinces her that they should get married right away because they have a special connection or something. And they go on a honeymoon to Greece and her sister is trying to prevent them from consummating the marriage from afar, and it's so absurd but also very entertaining. And then we have An Undomestic Goddess, which is about a woman who is a lawyer and she doesn't know how to do any chores because she has a maid for everything, and one day something happens at work and she panics and she goes to the country and she goes through an interview for a maid position by mistake, but instead of admitting that it's a mistake, she just goes with it and she has to learn how to do chores very quickly. So this one was also very funny. Next prompt is Netflix, a series you want to start. So I have one that I am pretty embarrassed about by this point because I've been meaning to start it for quite some time, and I actually have the first book from the library and I have had it for several months and I still haven't read it, and it's The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. This is the volume 1 and the series is called Wayfarers. This is a sci-fi series I don't know much about, but I've been really intrigued by it, and I've actually read like 20 pages a few months ago and I really liked it, but then I got distracted and didn't continue. And it's about, well, it's a sci-fi with a lot of different species, it's very diverse, and from what I read, it is a very funny sci-fi. So yeah, it sounds great. I just need to concentrate long enough to actually finish it, because according to the website I actually have to return this like mid-June, and the library has been open for a few weeks and I'm like, I don't want to go to the library. But yeah, let's see if I finally read it. Maybe I will buy it, we'll see. Then we have Deep Clean, which means a book that has been on your TBR for ages. So the oldest books on my physical TBR are from 2019, because I do this thing every year where I either read or unhaul all the books I got the previous year. So the oldest book I currently have is Emma by Jane Austen, and this is also a book that has been on my Goodreads TBR for the longest time. I actually don't know a lot about Emma, so I think it's about a girl who is playing a matchmaker. Is that it? Yeah, I don't know what to say at this point, because I need to do it. Next we have Animal Crossing, which I've never played, but it doesn't matter. And it's a book that you recently bought because of the hype. For this I have to say, well met by Jen DeLuca. I feel like I am showing this in every video, but it just really fits the prompt, because yeah, the hype was basically the only reason why I bought it. This is an adult contemporary about two people going or meeting at a Renaissance fair, and I don't know much about Renaissance fairs. I'm not especially interested in this kind of stuff, but yeah, I've heard good things, so I just randomly chose this book to be a part of my shopping cart. What? Next we have Productivity, a book that you learned something from or that had an impact on you. I'm going to go with Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo, who is an author, YouTuber, businesswoman who is very inspiring to me, and this is a non-fiction book about her life, how she got successful, the obstacles she had to overcome, and she also includes a lot of stories from people who are less privileged than her, so I like to see that. I love her drive and energy, and the phrase everything is figureoutable really reminds me that even though we feel like we don't have a lot of control over a situation, there's usually something we can do, and this something can sometimes have a huge impact. It's not about false positivity or being completely unrealistic, but it's about just keeping going forward and keeping exploring the options that are available to you. And yeah, I just really love this book and I would highly recommend it. Next we have Facetime, a book you were gifted. For this one I had The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. So I got this from a friend last year and I still haven't read it. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I will do it, I promise. And this is a young adult sci-fi book about a girl who is alone in the universe. Her parents are dead and one day she starts communicating with another ship, and she meets this boy, well, online, and yeah, I guess they start getting close, but she doesn't know a lot about him. Next we have Self-Care. What is one thing you have done recently to look after yourself? Well, since I've been pretty much cooped up in my city apartment for 2 months, counting, I have been really trying to work out at least semi-regularly, and I have started doing solo dance parties in my living room as part of my workout regime, and it was the best idea. I absolutely love it. Sometimes I do some like regular workout after that, sometimes I don't, and it's been such a fun time because I used to do a lot of dancing and then I stopped, but I love moving my body and expressing myself through moving my body to music, so it's a good time. And then we have a bonus to name a book that is coming out soon. So I have written down Beach Read by Emily Henry, but it has already come out because I'm filming this a bit later than I expected. But nonetheless, I'm very excited for it, and it's an adult contemporary about two writers who meet at a retreat or something, and the woman writes like contemporary romance fiction and the guy writes literary fiction. They are both going through a writer block and they decide that they are going to swap genres and try to write each other's genres, and it sounds so fun and the reviews have been so good, so yeah, I can't wait to read it. I know I was supposed to say only one book, but I'm going to mention two more. So I have Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. So this is book 2 in the Brown Sister series. I have read the first one, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, a few months ago, and I really enjoyed it, so I definitely want to read the sequel. Then I have Loveless by Alice Oseman. So this comes out in July, and it's about a girl who goes to college, but in Britain, so she's still in high school basically, and she's never had a crush, and she's determined to find romance, but then she realizes that she might be a romantic asexual, so I can't wait to read about this rep. It has a gorgeous purple cover and I can't wait to read it. So yeah, that was all for the stay-at-home book tag.